people are having sex in a luxurious home when the woman leaves to grab a glass of water and comes back to discover the man is gone. She looks for him and discovers him covered in blood in the bathroom as she yells and a hand stretches out to grab her. After moving to a new home on the coast of San Francisco, Ellie Warren, a successful attorney, and her husband Marcus are recuperating from a horrific car accident. Their daughter Brittany has left for college. Janice, Ellie's boss, wants her to stay on after she finishes the case, even though Ellie wants to leave to open her own practice. Ellie is taken aback when Janice presents the business's newest tech consultant, David Hammond, whom she knew in college. The firm serves a customer who alleges that their patents have been stolen. David promptly finds emails that prove the patents were stolen, as requested by Janice. David then asks Ellie to get drinks to catch up. Ellie has already arranged drinks with her friend Courtney, and she invites David to join them. When Courtney gets stuck at work, Ellie goes out for drinks by herself with David. After they catch up, they head to a club where they discuss why they never went on a date while in college. Before taking the job, David acknowledges that he knew Ellie worked at the firm. The two danced and got a little too close. Ellie ran to the bathroom, where David found her. They kissed and almost had sex, but Ellie hurried off. She returned to living with Marcus and tried to make their relationship work, even though David kept calling. She also got an office space for her new firm. David visits his therapist, telling her he's doing well and that he's started seeing someone, whom it turns out he first started seeing during court-ordered anger management following an incident with Deborah outside of work. David approaches Ellie, saying he was at the adjacent meeting, and asks why she hasn't answered his calls. Ellie declines his invitation to get coffee, stating that she is married, and he leaves her at home. David continues to phone and text Ellie, so she bans his number. Ellie and Marcus engage in sexual activity while David watches from their window. Ellie is shocked when Courtney invites David to dinner. David is dating Courtney and acts as though he doesn't know Ellie, who plays a lot. When David is by himself, Ellie confronts him and declares that she will never want to see him around her or her family again. She tells him to find a reason to leave, which he does. Later, after discovering a package from Marcus on her deck, Ellie calls Courtney, but he isn't able to reach her. She meets David to confront him, asking what it will take to get him away from her, her friends, and her family. David becomes irate and calls her Deborah. When Ellie gives him the record he left in the package, he breaks it in half. When Ellie tries to tell Courtney the truth, she is told by David that she attempted to seduce him but he rejected her. Courtney displays texts that seem to be from Ellie expressing this, but Ellie clarifies that David is a hacker. Courtney doesn't buy it and leaves. Ellie visits an old college friend who informs her that David was completely smitten with her while they were in school. She also learns that Deborah, David's ex-wife, had a striking resemblance to her and that she and her new boyfriend were killed not long after the divorce. Ellie is afraid that David may break into her home at night and search her belongings while she is asleep. Brittany arrives home from school and almost runs into him, but she manages to dodge him. Ellie keeps contacting Courtney, but she never hears back. Later, David sends her a video message that includes security images of them dancing at the club that he hacked into. Unaware that he has also hacked her home security, she emails Courtney about Deborah's murder and how David most likely committed it. David deletes the email, and they engage in sexual relations. After Ellie starts following David, she is shocked to see him playing golf with Marcus. She manages to get the building's concierge to let her inside David's apartment, where she discovers images of Deborah and has her own photo taken from a distance on his computer. When David returns home, she is still in the flat, so he flees. When David arrives at Courtney's house, Ellie contacts her to inform her about the images and to warn her that David is dangerous. David arrives at Courtney's house. When Courtney searches David's phone for pictures of Ellie, David catches her and assaults her. Ellie finds Courtney unconscious and bleeding from the head when she rushes to her place. Courtney is taken to the hospital, and the police inform Ellie that they are searching for David at home. Ellie tells Marcus the entire story, upsetting and furious, while David finds a homeless man and pretends to kill him by setting him on fire with a suicide note. The police then reveal that they have discovered all the evidence in David's home, including a confession regarding the murder of his ex-wife. Marcus and Ellie discuss their issues and decide to start over so that things may get pleasant and normal again. When Ellie arrives at her workplace to sign some paperwork, she discovers her assistant dead on the floor. David then phones her to tell her that she left them alone. Ellie finds Scott, Brittany's boyfriend. David appears and tells Ellie that they can start a brand new life together. Ellie attacks with a knife and then breaks a vase over his head, calling the police along the way, but she is unable to locate Brittany or Marcus. Ellie finds Marcus and Brittany tied up. She frees them as the police arrive, but when they rush to the police car they discover the cop dead. David attacks them, but they manage to lock Brittany in her car and tell her to drive away. David fights Marcus, but Marcus pushes him off a balcony. Following her chest stab to David, Ellie locates Marcus and assists with his recovery. While Marcus and Ellie dash to the shore, Avid heads back to the squad car and retrieves the dead cop's pistol. There is a brawl at the cliffside after Avid pulls a gun on them. 2 months after David fell off the edge, Marcus and Ellie were secure and happy, sending Brittany back to school, and we could see that they were selling the property.
Please subscribe for more movie